More evidence has arisen suggesting what we the fans have been saying for years. Most people do not use Twitter.
That doesn't make sense.
This may come as a shock for the woke weirdos in Hollywood and the comic book industry because they live in a Twitter bubble. They pat themselves on the back and tell each other how virtuous and wonderful they are, and they screech at anyone who disagrees with them so that now the normal people have left or never even joined the platform in the first place. The entertainment industry at large has become sort of incestuous, so that filmmakers and comic book artists are making entertainment basically just for each other.
All shall love me understand.
You serious?
This is a sore lesson for the buffoons at Disney who prove with every passing day that they aren't fit to be custodians for beloved cultural myths like Star Wars and Marvel. This article was just published on Bounding into Comics the other day. Mark Miller allegedly told 95% of the comic book audience is not on Twitter. Says statistic must be mind-blowing for the company marketing departments. That's an absolutely staggering number. It shows that Marvel Comics is catering to a minuscule percentage of their fan base. And really, we can assume this actually includes all the entertainment properties at companies like Disney and Warner Brothers. They are suffering. But we'll take a look at the numbers specifically in the comic book industry, where I'm happy to report it seems American comic book companies have ruined themselves. The Bounding into Comics article reads, veteran comic book writer Mark Miller has claimed that he was recently informed by a marketing expert connected to one of the big two publishers that 95% of the comic book audience is not on Twitter, a revelation which he believes must be mind-blowing for the company marketing departments. I don't know about you, but this is one of the most satisfying paragraphs I've read in a good long while. We as a fandom have been saying this for a long damn time, that a majority of people couldn't care less about what some writer tweets. But the people at these large companies treat Twitter like it's reflective of reality.
I don't believe it.
Believe it or not, you piece of shit, you're still gonna burn.
They treat trending hashtags like it represents the will of their audience, which is why I often suggest we speak up. We must shock these people who are enamored with wokeness into breaking out of the ideology and giving the massive majority of their fan base what they want. Now, for reference, here is what Miller said, ironically enough, on Twitter. Here's an amazing stat I heard yesterday. Only 10% of comic buyers have a Twitter account, and only half of those accounts are actually active. Thus, 95% of the comic book audience is not on Twitter, which must be mind-blowing for the company marketing departments. He continued in a subsequent tweet, Also factor in that the average person follows so many people that comic promos are easy to miss, and you quickly realize Twitter is really just a fun way to meet and chat with people who share our various passions as opposed to a genuine marketing tool. For a visual representation of the truth bombs Mark Miller dropped here, I refer you to the following video clip.
You don't believe me?
If you need evidence that these jackanapes are out of touch with the bulk of their audience, take a look at this. These are the top 20 adult graphic novels from just last month. Tell me how many Marvel and DC comics you see on here. Surely, with name recognition like Batman, the X-Men, the Avengers, Superman, they've gotta be dominating the market, right?
Not this time. No, not this time.
Going down the list, I see My Hero Academia, Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, but not a single Marvel or DC title. No Wonder Woman, no Captain Marvel, no Avengers, not a single one cracked the top 20 adult graphic novels. Hey Marvel and DC.
I think you suck.
People are growing tired of this woke crap. We can see which direction American comic writers have gone. We can see who they are catering to. It sure as hell isn't the 95% who don't give a shit about Twitter and just want to be entertained. They are after the 5% who are vocal on social media. They're after a phantom, an imagined audience who aren't nearly as large as Twitter makes them out to be. That's why, as I discussed the other day, people are turning to manga, and American comic book creators are reflexively attacking their Japanese counterparts. Well, tough shit. The Japanese are going to continue trouncing American comics as long as the audience has to be concerned that opening the pages of an American comic is a risk of having their faces melted off with wokeness. The MCU is rapidly following suit. I know a lot of you don't like to hear it, but a lot of people are beginning to feel this way. Let's take a look at a Google Trends chart really quickly to further illustrate this point. This chart is from the past 7 days. The blue line represents the Eternals, a Marvel property with an upcoming movie. The sharp uptick in the line came on the day its trailer was released, but as you can see, it faded really quickly. The weak yellow line at the bottom is Loki. That character's interest level should be high because he has a new Disney Plus show coming out soon, but it's pretty minuscule and this ought to be alarming to the MCU. And even worse is the green line, which represents Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Disney wants you to believe that show was incredibly popular, but nobody is buzzing about it at all anymore. Compare that to the purple and red lines, which represent a couple of popular mangas, Demon Slayer and My Hero Academia. They are consistently outperforming Marvel properties, and in fact, if we look at this United States map, we can see that in no state are any of the Marvel properties more widely searched than the manga ones.
When was the last time you got your ass kicked?
That's today.
American comics are in trouble. They've squandered the goodwill of the fans, and if they keep up their activism on Twitter and in the pages of their comics, it will only get worse. Race swaps, gender swaps, woke ideology, these things only last for so long. Eventually, the novelty wears off, and the wokesters move like a plague of locusts to the next thing they can destroy. In order to hasten the process, we need to support their competition. To that end, I'll make my semi-weekly suggestion for something new that y'all can try out. I think you should give My Hero Academia a chance. My son recently turned me on to the show, and it's a fun story about a school for superheroes in a world where most people have superpowers. Give stuff like this a try and keep your wallets closed to the companies who support SJW crap. Eventually, they will fall from their comfortable perch and they won't know what hit them.
If I'm gonna stick my ass out the window, I'm gonna eat.
Holy shit! Are you okay?
My head is fine.
Oh my god! Oh my god, that's horrific!
Oh, is he school?
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.